Welcome to another episode of Transformers Prime Beast Hunters. I'm in a deep, secluded area of the outback known as the garden at me mum's place, hunting for the rarest and most dangerous of Transformers. Whoosh, I think I hear something. Yeah, here we go. Let's get a look at this little beauty. Crikey, it's... Knockout?
I am just that good.
After all my gushing of the Legacy Knockout, I decided to try and hunt down the original toy. And I found one. 2, 3. Man, I am a full-blown simp. Knockadile here is my favourite, so I'll be reviewing him. I have some real mixed feelings on Beast Hunters. On a major scale, the forced-in toy line derailed the original plans for Season 3 and contributed to the downfall of one of my favourite shows. On a minor scale, the toys were a little ugly. My exception seems to be with this guy because, wow, he wears that crocodile well. I'm glad to have a knockout with the spiky headpiece that his modern counterpart was lacking. Even with the addition of gold, it still screams knockout. It even helps pull attention away from the fact that his head is separate from the rest of his shoulders and torso. I rather like these gator shoulder pads. I feel like if any character could justify these unneeded animal bits, it's Knockout. It's cold fashion, sweaty, look it up. It also helps that, unlike, say, Soundwave, he doesn't get a whole bunch of extra spiky bells and protruding whistles. I do wish it did a bit more to cover up how low his shoulders are. Man, that looks painful. We get to his arms, and I really like that door and window Popeye combo we got going on. His legs look fine, even with the addition of crocodile boots. In fact, that car kibble helps him stay balanced, because those pointy feet aren't doing much to keep him afloat. Every time I move him around, I have to fix those bloody feet to keep him from getting pigeon-toed. Now let's check out that back. No. Say what you will about the Legacy toy having hollow limbs and a chunky frame, but you don't see his entire skeleton from the back. Right, let's just cover that up with the best part of the toy. You heard right, the best part. His glorious weapon, the Crocto Claw. A bizarre, mutated crocodile head with a chain and spring-loaded jaw. You got plenty of options for this guy. A big unga-bunga club, an unwieldy pistol, a flail, and more. Now the transformation isn't a whole lot of fun, especially because mine has a bum arm that keeps falling off. But I will endure all the mistakes and annoyances on this one for that ridiculous car mode. Good lord. Who needs accuracy when you can look like the dumbest novelty car of all time? How could it get better than this? You guessed it, with the Crocto Claw. It chomps onto Knockout's behind, like we all wish we could, and gives him a tail that I didn't know I wanted, but now I can't picture him without. I feel like this should be used on tours at Australia's zoo. There's the world famous Crocoseum, where there's crocs, and you can see them. That's clever. Yeah. I like this guy. I couldn't criticize this if I tried. No notes. I won't be calling this a croc. You get it? Because he... bugger it. That's right. We're taking a step away from Transformers to look at something that makes me, and probably only me, very happy. When I was a little kid who was 90% autism and 10% more autism, there were two things I loved most in the entire world: Thomas the Tank Engine and Power Rangers. So imagine how much my interest was caught by the Super Sentai series of 2014, Resha Sentai Tokyuja, a team of colourful fighting superheroes fueled by imagination that rode trains which could become a giant robot. Oh, if I could show this to my 5-year-old self. He'd probably say something weird and then wander off without telling his parents where he's going. I don't play near the roads! He'll be fine. This is the Resha Gattai Tokyo, which translates to the Train Combination Limited Express King. As you can see by the box, this train titan is made of 5 different locomotives, which we will now look at. We have the red Resha, the longest of the group and a steam locomotive. The blue and green Reshas, which are Shinkansen bullet trains. And the yellow and pink Reshas, which are short and stout E65 subway trains. We also have this crossing gate, which will become relevant in just a moment. They each have the same features. They have beautiful rolling wheels, which after years of collecting Transformers I forgot could be a thing. This is hard to convey with words, but the feel of these toys is great. They have a nice plastic and a good weight. They click and snap so well, and they just Oh, they just light up the sparks in my brain. Each train comes with a little flip-out connector piece, so we can have a whole rake of trains. Am I using that term right? Rake? I used to be obsessed with Thomas, but somehow never actually learned anything about trains. You can also remove the head of each toy and use them with the TallJoke's changer, if you happen to own one. The changer actually acknowledges them and makes unique sounds. You can even switch the heads around if you want. Doesn't do anything, but you can do it. Anyway, let's get to the real main feature and link them up. Oh, skinny limbs with a thick torso. This is a bot after my own heart. I will confess, he doesn't do a whole lot. He can move at the shoulders, his legs can kind of move outwards, but there's no knee or elbow movement. You're not getting a dab or a hero's landing pose out of this boxcar behemoth. What he can do is hold that crossing gate, which converts into two weapons, the railway crossing sword and the railway crossing shot. But I'll admit it, unless you like playing peekaboo, there's not a lot of play features on this locomotive Leviathan. No lights, no sounds, no projectiles, just the lad. Which is fine for me, just what I want. I just don't want to oversell it to fans of toys that, do things. Oh, and I better bring up the meme aspect of the toy. Fans find it really funny when you do this. Yeah. It just shows me that some fans don't have a real sense of humor. They're just devoid of taste and class and, oh, I get it! It looks like a willy! That's great. Good stuff. Now, if you're a fan of this series, you might know these aren't the only train mechas. There are many railway riders that can combine to become bigger and more powerful mechs. But I'm pretty content with just these 5. And if I were you, I'd start with just this set too. Maybe I'll want more later. Maybe you'll want more as well. But I say just find these 5 and enjoy the simplicity. Let it bring joy to your inner child and help spark your imagination. Oh, geez Louise with a side of cheese. Why are there so many trans and non-binary robots in my TF media? When did this franchise about war, class division, and peace for all sentient beings get so political? What's next? Deceptioques, autopolys, trans robots? Ah, fuck! About a year ago, I bought some bootleg Transformers while working at a festival. And since today is Trans Visibility Day, I thought I'd show you the trans robots. Don't worry, I'm not here to debate politics, because trans people existing isn't political and that's not up for debate. Now let's look at some silly boxes! Before I unbox these no doubt brilliant toys, let's see if we can find any poorly translated nonsense on the packaging. Power Promote! Robot Prime First Edition Super Soldier! For some reason they're both called that. The strongest fighting force! Yeah, so far so good on this. Super Changed Robot. Age, there we go. Still, only one typo on the front. Not bad. I'm giving this 4 out of 6 Sense of Right Alliance members. On the back, it's pretty standard. Just some character art, instructions, promises of light and music that at least one of these toys doesn't live up to. And because we all love our poorly translated boxes, the latest battle enhancement, equipped by superpower robot warriors, is the incredibly powerful melee weapons system. I'm giving it a 3 out of 6 Sense of Right Alliance members. And we also have some identical stats on the side. And the other side was apparently not interesting enough for Past Matt to bother filming. Very unprofessional, Past Matt. But let's bust these two out and feel that most likely horrible plastic. First of all, Mr. Bumblebee with his little mustache. He comes with a big old sword that might be from the last night. I'm not willing to check that movie to find out. Besides the odd face, the rest of him looks enough like Bumblebee. He's got these wheel shoulders that have me thinking of Knockout. Though I'm always thinking of Knockout. He is just that good. He's supposed to be able to light up and make sounds. I couldn't get him to work, so I opened up his back and oh dear.
Rusted batteries. Rusted batteries.
Transforming him is annoying and not at all fun, and you can almost make it into a 2016 Chevrolet Camaro. At least that's what Google tells me. Now, while I didn't have much nice to say about Beeblebum, our next trans icon is a little bit of a step up. Following the night theme of the 5th Transformers film, Mr. Prime comes with a shield and a big fat Uzi. We have the opposite for Prime. While his face looks basically correct, the rest of his body looks like it was designed by someone who had never seen the character but had his appearance vaguely described to them. Unlike B, Optimus has non-rusted batteries and thus can make lights and sounds. His transformation is even a little more manageable, turning Optimus Prime into, get this, a truck. You might have noticed the scaling of these two is a bit off, so it's either a giant Camaro or a teeny-weeny semi-trailer. So, would I recommend these? Of course not. They're crappy bootlegs of toys that I doubt were worth it officially. And where are you going to get them? Oh yeah, just go to the Fantasy Festival, a Queensland-only event that happens once or twice a year, and hopefully the toy vendor from last time is not only there, but still has these in stock. You thought Cosmos was hard to get. Though, if you're in the mood to spend some money, have you considered donating to a trans charity? On the day of this video's release, it's both Easter Sunday and Trans Visibility Day, so why not help out a few eggs? Consider throwing a few dollars to Transcend Australia, beyond bricks and bars, or open doors. Every single dollar-y-do can go a long way to helping out a person trying to find the most genuine version of themselves. I haven't got anything funny to end this with, so here's footage of Caesar being funny.
Caesar, I want you to be funny. Be funny. Good one.
A while back, I was lucky enough to get the legacy release of Armada Optimus Prime, and he's perfect! Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. He's great! He's good! He's good enough? I don't know, he's a bit much, don't you think? Sure, he's got articulated limbs, is an incredible size, has wide availability, gorgeous colours, plenty of options for posing and play potential, and that's fine! Once in a while? But wouldn't you rather have something stupid, motionless, gimmicky, obscure, and not very good? Well, such an option does exist. This is the Transformers Armada Optimus Prime Action Gumball Machine. First of all, what is this? I'm not being rhetorical, what the hell is this thing? I've tried doing research and found barely anything. You know it's obscure when even the TF Wiki hasn't mentioned it. All I found out is that it seems to have been released in Australia and parts of the UK. I've been told it came out during the Armada toy line and then shelf-warmed like crazy, well into the Energon and Cybertron toy lines. And I can't wrap my head around that. Who wouldn't want a Transformer that replaces transforming with a piece of candy coming out of its ankle? Maybe if Action Masters could dispense a Jawbreaker, they'd be looked back on with more fondness, eh? What does Gumball Prime do? Oh boy, what doesn't he do? Well, he doesn't transform or pose or move, but he does light up and make sounds. So the button for that is here. I've been told that the sound is lifted from the Armada Starscream, and... well, there you go. Also, you can attach minicons to him, old and new. Now that's some forward thinking. They don't do anything, but now I've got a place to put them. But I've kept you waiting long enough. It's time I show you this bad boy's main feature. Simply open this hatch and ew. Then take your gumballs and gently pour them in. Then you use this right arm as a crank. After about 2, maybe 3 attempts, you might get a gumball rolling out of his ankle. I love collecting novelty merchandise like this. Just an odd piece of Transformers history that shows just how big and popular and weird this franchise can be. I do love this incarnation of the character too. If I did one of those top toys of 2023 videos, this guy would have been on the list. But I've been thinking of doing a review of all the Legacy Armada toys. This guy, Hotshot, Starscream, Megatron, maybe Tidal Wave. And you know, if that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, till all are gum. Hasbro Unicron has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a reaction figure by Super Savan, inspired by that same Hasbro excellence. It's based on a prototype of a toy from the 80s and, like the best reaction figures, reminds you of a character from an old TV show. Cut! What the devil was wrong with that take? This is Unicron from Super 7's reaction line of non-transforming action figures. While the line's depiction of Transformers are usually 3.5 inches and heavily based on their cartoon counterparts, this plump planet breaks the mold by being almost double the height at 6 inches and is modelled after an unreleased prototype from the 80s. Here's the packaging, a very G1-inspired decor, complete with grid lines and artwork promising poses that the toy will not live up to. On the back is a chart for all the toys that I won't be buying. Well, maybe Soundwave. And Reflector. Though I might as well get 3 reflectors if I'm doing that. You know what? Grab my wallet. Once we rip them out with no regard to resale, we can really get into the details of this planetoid. He's got details all across the globe. Lines, grooves, bumps and vents. However, in the light blue and yellow, it's a little hard to actually make any of it out. Especially on that face. That face. That marvelous face. I mustn't be unwise. And for a figure with action in its name, there's not really a whole lot he can do. It's really more of a redisplay piece over a reaction figure. I might be too hard on it. It can do this. At 6 inches, he won't really be towering over your toys, but I don't know. I still think there's a bit of charm in seeing a Unicron that can finally hang out with the rest of the boys. As I mentioned, Unicron doesn't transform. But if I move the arms and subtly cover these legs...
Marvelous! Look! It's Unicron!
I guess the real question is, should you buy this toy? Any of the other toys on this line, I'd say no. But this? Maybe. If you're collecting one of each Unicron, if you're a sucker for novelties, or if you just want them to sit with your G1 collection to imagine a timeline where we got this toy, sure. Get it cheap if you can and enjoy it. Otherwise, treat yourself to a shard. Season 2 of Earthspark is about to drop, so to celebrate, let's have a look at Earthspark Flip Changer's Soundwave. I like, but don't yet love, this version of Soundwave. His debut episode featured him striking back against Megatron like a scorned lover for leaving the Decepticon cause. His first episode even ends with an ominous scene where he releases Ravage from his prison cell, no doubt part of an insidious and fascinating scheme that will unfold throughout the series. Then he was busted out of jail, not once but twice, by unrelated outside forces. Okay then. But anyway, this is about the toy. First, let's look at the bot. We have a pocket-sized version of Soundwave that is very simple. That is to say, he doesn't do anything in this mode. Attempting to move his arms will just show that they detach at the elbow, and his feet are cuffed together. Ooh, perhaps it's a pair of stasis cuffs. No, it is not. And while he doesn't come with weapons, his hands are molded to hold items, like so. Look at that. Little guy, holding things. What a lad. He does at least properly resemble his cartoon counterpart, albeit with a kite strapped to his back. And now it's time for the transformation. Watch carefully now. There we go. The way the box advertises it is to flip it from your hand to the ground. I remember someone telling me this was to cash in on that meme of flipping water bottles. Is that true? Is that nonsense? Doesn't really matter. The point is, you press this button here and he transforms in the blink of an eye. But let's discuss Soundwave's Stealth Bomber mode. Bulkier than Prime, skinnier than Cybertron, a slick little plane that looks like a boomerang. You may notice these little hinges here. When Soundwave is in his packaging, these are folded up. You click them into place when you bust them out. And I believe it's a one-way trip. It feels like if I tried to flip them back, I'd just snap the wings right off. And I guess that's all there is to say. This feels a little short, so as a bonus, here's 2 more flip changes. Swindle and Skull Cruncher. While Earthspark Swindle doesn't capture my heart the way his smooth-talking animated counterpart did, Nolan North's depiction of Swindle and the stellar episode House Rules makes him a great incarnation. His toy, however, is pretty forgettable. Unpainted windows, a rear end that looks unfinished, and the toy sploots out like a tired puppy. And Skull Cruncher was also in the show. If you're hoping this was the show that would finally make Skull Cruncher into a household name, well, maybe you can hold out for season 2. His toy is a little different from the others, as you push him back instead of forwards. You even need to click his tail into place, so he's more of a 1.5 step changer. Not the best version of this character, but I do like collecting crocodiles, so what are you going to do? Well, there you go, that's all my flip changes. They only do one thing, but I kind of like that one thing. So that's a vague thumbs up from me. Just don't be a dummy like me and buy them at full price. See ya!
Go! Kai! Jer! Pirate Sentai Gokaiger!
Gokaiger was the 35th anniversary season of Super Sentai. It was about a group of space pirates coming to Earth to find the ultimate treasure and to fight off an evil alien empire that wanted to ground them and the planet into dust. And when their sabers and flintlocks aren't enough, they can use the power of their highly collectible Ranger Keys. It allows them to transform into any of the spandex warriors from the previous 34 teams. Die Ranger, Deca Ranger, Live Man, Red Rangers, Black Rangers, White Rangers, Extra Heroes, Metal Heroes, Kamen Riders, teams that came before them, teams that came after them, whatever sells more keys, we gotta sell more keys! What can I say about this show that hasn't been said by pretty much the whole fan base? The characters are amazing, the story is engaging, the guest appearances by actors from all over the franchise make whatever episode they show up in even better. And today, I'm going to be talking about their main mecha for kaiju battles, the Gokai-O. This has been loaned to me by Chris from the incredible channel Outer Space Reviews. I asked to borrow something from his Gokai shelf for a specific reason that I'll get to at the end of the video. Here we have 6 toys that... No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I thought there was 6. Well, 5 toys that represent the Pirate Sentai and follow a very pirate theme. The Gokai Galleon, a gorgeous red pirate ship and the HQ of the main team. The Gokai Marine, a cute little submarine that answers the question, what if a bath toy could kill you? The Gokai Trailer, a trailer truck themed after treasure chests. Really starting to stretch that pirate and seafaring theme, but still a fun addition. The Gokai Racer! Pretty much given up on the theme at this point, with a mustache-sporting race car. And finally, the Gokai Jet. I'll be honest, the weakest of the 5 to me. Transformers have been pretty loose on what does and doesn't count as a plane, but they at least have to turn into a whole guy. This thing is a glorified hat rack with a hand on it. Anyway, let's get to that get time. Go, go, Super Mega Force, Power Rangers, Super Mega Force. We're gonna fight aliens, show them all what we're worth, with new powers never seen here on Earth. There's a simple explanation for Power Rangers, Super Mega Force. Oh, mama! What a majestic bot! What we have here is a representation of one of the finest 5-combo robos to ever smack a rubber monster. Those colours, that stance, that pirate theme, I love it! Hidden as the keel on the Gokai Galleon comes 2 blades for the Gokai-O to either keep on their sides or to dual wield. Either way, they look fantastic on the bot. Like the Tokyo-O from a little while back, he can't pose or move much. Especially this one. Drops off like a bloody Monty Python reference. But it does come with a big-time feature that puts it C's ahead. In the show, spinning this wheel opens up 5 compartments on the bot that reveal cannons with a never-ending supply of ammunition. So let's give it a spin, baby! Holy hidden dragon! There were 6 robots after all! This is the Magi Dragon. The Gokaijers received this after they met Magi Red, and he convinced them that if they jumped over a cliff, it means they believe in magic in a young girl's heart. And that earned them the right to use the dragon. Is this what happened? I probably shouldn't try and recall an episode as I'm recording. Anyway, he's a bonus toy that came with the DX Gokai-O. This is just one of many bots from Super Sentai history that can combine with the Brass Buccaneer to make it even stronger and even sillier. And if you don't want the bonus dragon, that's fine. Pull it out, use the standard cannon, do whatever makes you happy. Now, why did I want to borrow this plastic privateer? I'm glad you asked. On the 22nd and 23rd of June this year, the Supernova Pop Culture Expo will be taking place at Olympic Park, Sydney. And the Mad Lads at Toku Spirits have organised two very special guests for the event. Kamen Rider Decade's Masahiro Inoue and Ryoto Azawa, aka Gokai Red. They're going to be signing autographs and taking selfies at the PR Toys Australia booth for the whole weekend. This is their first time coming to Australia, and I think you should definitely take the chance to meet them if you can. It'll be a super mega win. Hello? Okay. Yeah, the police are coming to arrest me for all the Super Megaforce references. That's fair.